Hello and welcome to the Red Zone Podcast, Episode 1, titled Magic Act 2, Back in the Habbit. This is Elvin,
And I'm JR.
and we're going to be talking about a lot of different topics in this inaugural episode of our podcast. We just want to let everybody know that we're hoping to give everybody a new episode every, what?
So we're planning to do a podcast every 2 weeks. Because monthly is not going to be enough, and
Weekly will kill us.
Yeah, it will not kill us, but
It will kill me,
but prevent us from playing games, which we like to do.
which will kill me,
Fine, it will. Anyway,
at least my spirit.
But yeah, that's what we want to do. So the podcast is basically something you can listen to while you're driving home, maybe on a treadmill or something like that. It gives you our insights or
An insight into our gaming lives so that you can
Yeah.
see how your gaming life measures up. And maybe yours is better, maybe ours is. Who knows?
yours
You'll
is
find
probably
out.
better, but yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll see. So the podcast also is a way for us to get people of different eclectic tastes, a way of hearing more about the things that they enjoy, be it board games, card games, movies, sports, fake sports, real sports. You
There
know.
are no fake sports, but yeah.
Yeah, well,
Wrestling is real.
it's real to me.
It's
Darn
real
it.
to
Yeah.
us.
Okay.
Anyway, so if you if there's anything you want to say, anything you want to ask us, go ahead and put that in the comment section below this video,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
we'll try to talk about it next week. That way you can
Well,
interact with us.
not
in-
next week, but next episode. For next
that-
episode,
that's what I meant.
yeah, we're going to look at the comments and then try to answer them to the best of our abilities.
Some of them.
Some of them, yeah. Well, if it's a spam bot, we will,
We will click the link just so to make you happy.
yeah, spam bots.
Go ahead.
Listen to our podcast. But so
This episode of the Red Zone Podcast, by the way, is brought to you by The Habbit.
The Habbit is a local game store that has Magic tournaments and Vanguard tournaments. Has a wide selection of cards and board games. You can also rent board games there. They also have a
Oh,
great.
did they actually? You have to pay, or did they just let you play?
No, they just let you play there.
So you don't really rent it; you just borrow it.
We're borrowing, sure, okay. And then there's
They're that good.
yeah. There's a they have food. You can have food there. They have a great.
Oh, but
iced
you
tea.
do have to pay for the food.
Yeah, you can't
I mean-
rent food.
Technically.
Technically, you cannot rent food.
Okay.
Okay, that's called theft. And then
Vomit it out. But yeah.
oh god. Anyway, so the Hobbit is much more pleasant than the last couple of seconds of this discussion. But we just want to give give them a shout out and thanks for supporting our podcast.
Yep, we'll have a link to their page in the description.
Yeah, thank you, Habbit.
Anyway,
On to our first part. The first part, let's talk about the things that we've been doing. So, well, how about you, JR? Anything you want to share?
what we've been doing, we've been grinding Magic lately.
Well, I heard that you had a particular problem with a reservation.
You really want to talk about that?
Well, no, not the event surrounding it, but what were you trying to reserve?
No, it was a simple trying to reserve a slot in a tournament that wasn't even a big tournament.
Well, not that one. The thing
What
you were
one?
trying to reserve, the item.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of related though. I mean,
But that's
the
not
reason
talk
why
about
I
that.
did not. Yeah,
Let's not
that's
talk
why
about
weird.
that one.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was weird that you wanted to bring it up. Yeah. So anyway, for new stuff, for all of you who are into gaming as well, console gaming, as you probably know, Sony's PS4 Pro just came out, and for those of you who don't know, essentially it's a PS4 with better hardware. What does it really do? It gives you 4K, and it gives you a better frame rate. Note, it's an or.
Yeah, I heard it upsamples the video to 4K or improves the frame rate of existing games.
Yeah, yeah. No, you actually have the option to run your games in 1080p and with the 60 hertz refresh rate, which is what you actually want to be doing with it. If you want 4K, you might actually want it for some games. No, not particularly the games. You actually want it. Sony says that you actually want it if you own an HDR 4K TV, which is 60 inches and above, which I imagine not everyone owns
Yeah,
or
but
has.
for certain individuals, and especially this holiday season, a lot of people are you're getting these big higher end TVs, and of course you want to have the best resolution. You pay a premium for that 4K experience.
No, but do you know how much a 4K HDR TV, which is 60 inches and above, costs?
I can find out.
No, I mean in our money, it's roughly between $4,000 and $5,000. So yeah, it's not what the TV you're thinking of, like because you could get a 4K TV for like what, $500,
500,
less.
500 to $1,000. Yeah.
Yeah, less or even less. But if you're into audio and video like I am, those TVs are different. Yes, they are 4K. Yes, they have HDR, but if you get the ones with and I won't get into the details because that could be another podcast on its own. But if you want the panels to display better colors and contrast and everything, you need to get the expensive ones, and that's not something that everyone has. So with that in mind, the PS4 Pro, I mean, if you're gonna get it for anything, if you own one of those TVs, well, I do. That's why I want to get one. But if you don't, you could still get it if you just want a better refresh rate for your 1080p experience, which is a better reason to get the PS4 Pro. I mean, I want to get it to test the 4K capabilities, but that's
But
not
are
really
you getting it? Were you able to get that reservation?
no, yeah, that's the thing. Because of the other reservation thing,
Which
I
we will
lost
not
my
talk about.
reservation, which we'll not talk about because we have friends in stores which own
Okay,
stores. So
myself, I had other. Speaking of reservations, now this is completely unrelated. Anyway, I recently watched Survivor Series. WWE presents Survivor Series. So, this is like one of their big pay per views. Do they still call it pay per views? Because you watch it on the WWE network.
yeah, they're still called the pay per views. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So this is like one of the first few
Oh, do you still
big.
do you still have the network? I thought we
No, yeah, we cut it off. Well,
so you watch in quote unquote the network.
I watched it on the internetwork.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah. So we have this Survivor Series, which is like the in the past one of the most interesting types of matches because it essentially is multiple fights in a single match. Four people usually fight in teams and then are eliminated one by one. So there's a battle of attrition that happens, and I remember back in the day watching this like when there was like the All Americans versus the Foreign Fanatics, and apparently Undertaker is a American zombie. This is way
He
before
was?
his American badass persona.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I watched that. It was pretty interesting, except for the end, which the match at the end was like 2 minutes.
Oh, for this one,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the
The
Lesnar and the
Lesnar
Goldberg thing.
versus
Yeah.
Goldberg 2 minutes
No,
long.
I was actually worried when I was looking at the like I was watching the match and looking at the time. It's like, how are they gonna finish this? And probably thinking like, is this fight will probably not push through for some reason or whatever or something like that. But
Well, I think people would start throwing things in the ring if that started to stop. But
yeah,
fortunately, it was very similar to all of well, most of Goldberg's matches where he does a spear or another spear maybe, and a jackhammer, and that's it.
because he had one more, and it was for Lesnar.
Yeah, well then Lesnar lost, and we'll see what happens. But it, it drove people crazy. But that's going to be a very interesting next couple of days for both Raw and SmackDown.
This is the how many pay per view after the brand split?
It's every month, and I believe it started in September.
No,
Uh,
no, wait. Is this the first pay per view after the brand split?
I don't think so. I think there's I think SummerSlam was the first.
Because they're doing like each brand has their own pay per view now, right?
Yeah, every month.
So every month you have two pay per views, or do you mean like they take alternate pay per views?
I think the
forgot.
first one.
Oh really? Interesting.
Well, let me double check. I do recall. Let's see, because there've been several brand splits over the course of its the years. Let's see, but I know they have their individual pay-per-views.
Yeah, that much I know as well. SummerSlam was more interesting this time though because normally I'm more of the
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, SummerSlam was the first one.
after
The first
brand split.
one after the brand split, and then Survivor Series was the second one.
But SummerSlam was
SummerSlam back in August.
really.
Yeah.
So what happened to September and October?
Well, they each of them have their own pay-per-views.
Also, SummerSlam was a pay per view for both brands.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they have
For
their own,
this
and then
one,
now back to for
yeah,
both.
each brand will have their own pay-per-view each month,
Also, two per month.
apparently.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like Night of Champions and Backlash, and
Yeah, wonder how that works because we don't really get to watch SmackDown and Raw as much as we want, but we do watch the pay per views because most of the action happens there anyway.
yeah, especially since the WWE did come here recently. It's one of
Which
the things.
was too expensive for us.
Well, it wasn't really too
I mean,
expensive, but it just
No,
didn't
because
really
we
have
want
the time to.
and we want the good seats.
Of
And
course,
the
of
good
course,
seats
because
are too
good seats are.
expensive.
Yeah, that's true.
It comes with a free chair if you get the ringside seat.
Yeah, a
Did you know that?
steel chair.
A steel
Yeah, free
chair?
steel chair. What do I do with a steel chair?
I kind of wanted to do that, but I believe that that was close to one of the GPs or something.
Well,
Like
then.
a week before or a week after one of the GPs, and I had to. And by GP I mean Magic Grand Prix, and I had to fly out for that. It wasn't actually on the same day, but budget wise it didn't make sense for me. I mean I wanted to watch it, but you know.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, we can't really watch everything that we want to. Now, moving to the next topic here, we do have a couple of new things on the movie end coming out, like the new Harry Potter movie.
Coming out? It's
Well,
out,
it came
right?
out. Sorry, it came out already. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
I heard I was playing a Magic tournament the other day, and some guy asked, "Is Fantastic Beasts good?" And someone said, "Yeah, if you like Fantastic Four, it's good." What?
That's a complete non sequitur. That has absolutely nothing to do with the Fantastic Four.
And
Well, Fantastic Beast is interesting because it gives you an insight to a different type of different part of the magical world, because all of the time we've been seeing like the British side. Now we can actually see beyond that. And if I actually go to the website Pottermore, you'll have a another story written by J.K. Rowling about a American based school for witchcraft and wizardry, which is actually pretty interesting. I saw a stop motion animation trailer that they made for it, which was pretty good.
but what is because I didn't really read Harry Potter. I don't actually read anything, so don't be mad at me for that. I read stuff on the internet, but not books. Anyway, so what's Fantastic Beasts about?
Well, it's like a
say it like
prequel.
explain it briefly.
Well, essentially, it is the story of a guy that takes care of these magical beasts. He collects and takes care of them, and accidentally lets them loose to New York City during the 1920s.
Oh, so this is in New York.
This is in America, yes.
So this doesn't have anything to do with Hogwarts.
It's the same world, but in the
I mean, of course, it's
1920s.
in the same world. It's in planet Earth.
Yeah, well, there's a magical world, so it's the same magical world.
No,
And
but it's technically the same.
Dumbledore's around.
It's technically the same Earth that we live in, except Muggles don't see the magical part of it.
Or no-maj, as they're called in America.
Oh,
They're not called muggles, they're called no-maj.
g- just because Muggles sounds British.
Apparently, hey, I didn't write it, J.K. Rowling did. But yeah, it's an interesting movie. It's worth a watch. At least that's my opinion.
Essentially, it's Pokemon, right?
Sure, you gotta catch them all.
I heard.
Well, have you watched that new HBO series, Westworld?
I've watched parts of some of the episodes. I actually just recently found out what it's. Well, I know it's a futuristic thing with people in it that go to the like a western part. I thought it was like a simulation at one point. I just recently found out that's like a amusement park of some sort.
Yeah,
I heard it's good though.
yeah. Westworld originally was a movie back in the 1970s, if I recall, starring Yul Brynner, 60s or 70s.
Yeah.
Yul Brynner, if you recall from The Sound of Music.
Yeah.
And anyway, Westworld was a virtual, simulated place where people from the future or the near future would be able to indulge in their deepest, darkest desires in a savage, untamed Wild West. So people could maim, rape, murder, and do all these horrible things because they're able to do so without any provocation, without any negative things happening to them.
Wait, so there's no law. Yeah.
No, it's
So
it's
they
an
have
amusement
sheriffs and
park,
stuff.
and the other things there are just robots.
Oh, so you rape robots?
Yes, yes.
Wait, what's that movie where they? There's a movie like that. Like you go to a place where they're not robots. They're like clones, and then one of them escaped. I watched that recently. I think on Netflix.
The island.
No. It's God,
Who starred in it?
someone not famous.
Well, I'm sure the people are saying, yeah, this thing, this thing, this thing. Well,
Comment section.
yeah, go to the comments, please remind
So
us.
anyway, that movie was about. Oh wait, no, and I take it back. I think someone like De Niro or Christopher Walken or someone was there, but not as the main character. Anyway, yeah, someone really famous was there.
Yeah, okay, well, it's a movie,
Anyway,
so
but the plot is that you pay to get into this virtual world where you can do everything. I mean, it's not Wild West or anything. It's current times where um you get to do what you want, and the people there, the clones get like they have something in their brains which erase their memories like every day, so they live the same day. So you get to live the same day. The clones do like they of course react a different way to how you move or do or what you do that day, but you get to do what you want, like illegal
that
stuff
that
that
sound
day.
that sounds very similar to the premise of
Yeah.
Westworld, and the drama or the interesting thing, the twist that occurs, is that there are certain types of hosts, as they're called, that remember. So they remember these horrible things happening to them, and
So,
they're trying to
like it's the
find.
same thing where they forget what happened.
Yeah, yeah, they're robots.
God.
It's Westworld is
But this is not
from
a
the
rip-off.
'60s. No, of course not.
Oh, because it's from the 60s. So the
It's
movie
a
actually ripped off the original Westworld.
maybe,
Hmm.
but we all have the same ideas. All stories are the same, etc. Well,
I'm gonna Google right now. I'm gonna Google Westworld rip off and find out what that movie is.
okay, well, besides that, let's start talking about the one of the main things that our channel is about, Magic. And there was recently a really big announcement about standard, and then a really big reversal of that news. Care to talk more about that, JR?
Well, we'll talk about this really quick because you can just Google it, and most people already know about this anyway. So basically, what changed was that the standard rotation, and for those of you, because this is a get back into Magic podcast, so some people might be old players here. So essentially, in standard, which was what we called Type Two back then, they changed the rotation schedule, so you'll have a rotation twice a year, which means your cards will be, and it's two block sets. So what happened was, basically all your cards will be legal for 18 months. But now they changed that, blah blah blah. Make things short, they're now legal for longer. So which means, your standard decks, your standard cards will have more value for a longer amount of time.
Which is great for as from a
It's
returning player point of view. So
it's great for players, but what Wizards is trying to do here was that they wanted standard to be, in essence, not boring. They wanted to be an ever changing format of changing and change ups, and that's why you have rotations every 6 months. So essentially, every 6 months, all the decks are new. Um, People didn't like that because it got too expensive. Even because like for me, for example, for this set, like for this particular season, the if you well, because we're not playing consistent pro tours yet, but we are trying to get to them. So for me, for example, the regional pro tour qualifier for this season is modern, and the invites for this regional pro tour were from last season, which means we already had our stand, which was which were pre-rotation. So after rotation, you'll have to create your new standard deck for whatever you're playing in. But since the regional qualifiers were in modern, there wasn't too much reason to get into standard, except for your everyday grinding and stuff like that. But I mean, if you're trying to get, because you already have your invite for this season, you try to get, I mean, for this regional qualifier, you want to get your invite for the next one, but you can do that with limited. So with the limited format, with your sealed and draft format. So um um there's really no good reason to get into standard. So I think what happened was sales also went down for Wizards.
well, in essence, it there's very little incentive for players to change what they were doing, and it was counter to what Wizards was trying to do in the first place, and inject sort of a constant changing
No, it's not
standard
really. It's
scene.
really not really. It's not really less. Oh, what's the term? Less incentive for people to change what they're doing. It's just less incentive to play standard at certain points, and because it's too expensive. It's like, I mean, for I'm sure for pro players, they get their sponsors, or if you're competing in those, like if you're a gold pro or silver pro, you get money for competing in Grand Prix, so you get your money back right away. But for regular players, the people in your card shops and in your local hobby stores, it doesn't really make sense to spend around like $500 on a deck every 6 months and not really get much out of it. And after 18 months, your money goes poof. So, yeah, I mean, competitive players are forced to do it, but not everyone, but not even everyone is. So, like, it just makes more sense to have the cards around longer, because new sets come in every 3 months anyway, and I mean, although the decks stay there, they don't really change completely, but things do happen. So I mean, that works for everyone better, I guess.
In essence, Wizards wanted to make standard more appealing, and they realized that making it shorter wasn't uh, wasn't the key, and so
I think the making the rotations shorter wasn't really for appeal, but for monetary reasons.
well, we can
Because
only
you buy cards
think.
every like you're forced to buy the new cards every single time. With the old formats, if new cards will always come, but they're not always necessarily going to be better than the older cards in the format. So, but with the rotations happening every 6 months, you're definitely getting like more cards from more sets. So yeah.
And well, I agree. There could be a financial reason that Wizards wanted to do that, but they did backtrack and they did change that. And what they're doing now to sort of incentivize people to play standard is these new standard showdown format that they're coming out next month.
Yeah, so good for Wizards for doing that.
Yeah. So what is a standard showdown?
We'll also not be going through all the details because we don't have the details, and this is why. Basically, the standard showdown is starting this week, which is November the what?
This is the week of
No, no, I
November
mean
twenty
the
first.
Saturday,
Oh,
26th.
26th.
Yeah. Starting the Saturday of the 26th and the three succeeding Saturdays afterwards, your local hobby shops. Is it all of them or do they have to be a certain level? I think it's all of them. Anyway, you can check with your local hobby store for that. But anyway, most shops are getting 40 of these showdown packs, and it's up to them how they want to give it away to their store patrons. So, um, if you're one of those people who grind GPs and the pro circuit and whatnot, this is less for you than it is more for the for people new to the game and just trying to get packs out of it. So anyway, yeah, 40 packs.
And what type of and you know
No,
what a
let's
pack
talk
they
about the
are.
how it's
Okay.
distributed
Okay.
first.
Sure.
So
Sure.
it's 40 packs distributed any way they want. So some would be giving them away, like in a normal booster pack distribution. Like they hold a tournament on Saturday. Winner gets 5 packs. Second place gets 2 packs. Whatever, something like that. Some create point systems where if you play all 4 Saturdays, then you get one of them. If you win a game, you get one of them. Something like it's totally up to the store owner how he wants to give it away. So best thing to do would be to check with your shop and ask your store owner how you can get your hands on one of the packs.
And
Now
no,
we go
why
to
would you want to get your hands on these
well,
packs? What do they contain?
basically to get more cards. But yeah, what do they contain? So
'Cause
they
these are no ordinary packs. I heard.
yep. These are essentially 3 card boosters. Now, before you get mad on what Wizards is doing, they're actually good 3 card boosters because what you get is, the first two are gonna be rares or mythics. So they didn't give us
From
the
the most
details
recent set, I think it
from
has to be standard.
from the standard sets,
Yeah.
basically. Wait, yeah, from all the standard sets. Now they didn't give us the ratio on how often you get mythics. They didn't, right?
Nope.
Yeah, but try to look for that. So it's 2 cards. The first 2 cards are either rares or mythics. Of course, mythics I believe would be rarer than the rare cards. You also get a what they call a premium card,
Which is essentially a foil, right?
essentially a foil. And as you know, the masterpieces, which are the inventions and the expeditions, take up a foil slot. So yes, you will get the chance to get expeditions and masterpieces from that foil slot. And here's the thing, you actually because the foils come in one in every 6 packs in a regular booster pack. Here you get a foil in every pack. Um, you get the in this pack you get the masterpiece, your expedition and your invention, in one in every 33 packs. So if you multiply that by 6, that would be 100. No, I'm kidding. That would be roughly the same ratio um, of getting an expedition in a booster box. So that's like 1 in 189. Well, it's not the exact same ratio, but it's
It's
roughly like that.
slightly better, but yeah,
No, no, no.
it's
It's
close.
slightly worse because it's one. It's supposed to be 1 in 80, and this is like 189. So it's
89. Oh,
slight,
okay,
slight.
my mistake.
Uh, well, yeah, it's almost the same. But so essentially, what a showdown, the odds of getting good, what the like, no, the monetary value, I guess, of a showdown pack is like 6 packs. To me, that's what I think it is. Like we're talking about the odds of getting something good. Technically less because you do just get the 2 rares. But because if you open 6 packs of Magic, ratio wise, you get 6 rares and a foil. So now you open a standard showdown pack, you get 2 rares and the foil. But I mean, the most of those rares are gonna be crap anyway, and you're really gunning for that Kaladesh invention or that Zendikar expedition anyway. So yeah, just think of it that's the easiest way to think about it. Like think about it as opening 6 booster packs and not getting anything out from the 4 packs, something like that.
Yeah, so concentrated packs.
Yep.
So I'm sure a lot of people will be interested in checking that out, and primarily check out with their local gaming shop. So where they play. That's the best thing. That's the best place that they'll um, learn more about the standard showdown. Now, we're going to go to our main topic of returning to Magic, getting back into the habit, so to speak.
No, it's more of getting back to any card game. I mean, we're gonna give Magic as an example because that's what you did recently. But it should be like in general, it's
I
returning
think it's
to
similar to
competitive
any competitive, returning to anything competitive.
any competitive TCG. It's mostly Magic, but yeah.
Well, just like, I like to think about it just returning to anything competitive in the first place. Like Randy Couture, this MMA fighter, when he went back to MMA, he had to train. And so, in the same manner, you have to bring yourself up to speed to the rules. Because the last time I played, back in the early aughts, there were different rules. And, there was mana burn and the stack.
But the stack is
Is
still the stack.
Okay, well there you go. But then there's these rules that came up like triggering abilities, etc. that I needed to be more aware of if I want to be competitive. That and all these new terminologies: legacy, modern, standard, EDH, cube, isosceles. No,
Rhombus.
that's a rhombus now. Now, but seriously, there's a lot of different things that I need to be more aware of.
Isosceles is not even a shape. What the hell? it's
But it's also not a tournament format, so it works as an example or a negative example.
or at
So,
least it woke you up, viewer. I mean, listener.
or viewer, if you're watching this on YouTube,
Oh yeah, if you're staring at the Red
black
Zone logo,
screen,
then
yeah.
it's not black. I
Well,
mean,
yeah, there's a little devil there. It'll slowly move.
yeah.
See if it moves. If it moves, you
It's
might want to get your eyes checked because it's a static picture. Seriously though, I found that being part of a group, relying on your friends, primarily with friends that play more.
did we just use Randy Couture as an example and just totally forgot about him?
No, no, no. We used Randy Couture as a simple example of training and
Forgot
becoming.
about him.
No, we didn't forget about him. He served his purpose. Randy served his purpose because that's the main thing. I don't think to compare myself to Randy Couture because I didn't really win the World Heavyweight Championship or anything like that.
He didn't get to buy cards too.
No, no, I don't. I'm not. I'm. Not, I don't think that Randy Couture is into that. Those types of things. But
Wait, isn't there a UFC competitor that's
I'm
into?
sure there
No,
is. I don't.
there's one guy who was famous for
Oh
it.
no, you're gonna have to check
Ah,
online. Well,
I'm doing that now, but yeah.
okay.
You can go ahead.
Well, yeah. So coming back to Magic, I had to learn all of these new things, and I really had
Josh
to.
Barnett.
Okay, whatever. Good job. Shout out to Josh Barnett.
He's really into it. I mean, like he has all the complete decks and stuff like that.
I'm sure if you have that MMA money, you can put it into your
No, I
MTG
mean, but he's actually like
hobby.
he plays in FNM and tournaments anyway.
Well, actually, speaking of FNM, that's a good thing because I know for FNM has been around for a long time, but I remember back in the day when there weren't really any tournament scene per se. There were big tournaments, yes. There were some tournaments that were scheduled from time to time, but it wasn't really something that everybody say, "Oh, it's Friday, let's play Magic," or "It's Wednesday, let's play Modern," or "It's Thursday, let's play EDH." So these structured events, and particularly a shout out to our Facebook group,
What Facebook group?
like the MTG Facebook group.
What Facebook group? Oh, you mean Tambayan?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was really helpful in sort of just organizing all these things.
Tambayan means hangout, by the way, for those who don't speak
The
Tagalog.
language, yeah,
Yeah.
but
It's a language, yes.
yeah. So when you have a place where you can organize and you have so many different places that you can go to play, it really fosters that community, and it fosters this feeling of being part of it again, and it's really
And
encouraging.
fighting.
Uh, I'm focusing on the positive sides and the things that encouraged me to play more. Okay, so
Fighting encourages you to do well.
great. Anyway, so these different things, the Friday Night Magic and the tourneys, weekly tourneys, really got me back into the swing of things. And soon I was feeling more and more confident in my skills. But I think it was really fortuitous that I started playing when Kaladesh came out. Because my first actual big tourney that I played in was a PR event.
Well, you can't really call that a big tourney, but
Well, for me, the
yeah.
last time I played was back in the 90s. The last tourney I did a black white pestilence circle of
How
protection
many
deck,
people were in that tournament?
enough to fill the game shop.
How big was the game shop?
Not that big, but
Can you
regardless,
just say how many people were there?
I can't. It's lost in the mists of time and
No,
memory.
like an estimate.
Estimate, I'd say 30.
That's not that bad.
It's still small from the ones that I heard, like 40 to 100 people. But yeah, so the pre-release event was fun. It was great, and opening the packs, making a deck, was a really great way. So for those that are sort of not playing Magic right now, who sort of just are Magic adjacent because you have friends or office
Magic
mates,
adjacent.
Magic adjacent because you're like you enjoy these eclectic activities. You like watching the things that we watch. You're in essence like a geek nerd. Those types of things. Um,
Magic
and
adjacent.
Magic has been that thing that, oh, I remembered playing that in high school. Um, what the pre if when's the next pre-release? Next year?
The
Either Revolt.
second week of January.
Yeah, I actually encourage you guys. We'll do. I'm sure we'll cover this in January.
Well, I mean, if technically the Kalajas pre-release is better for new players compared to the Aether Revolt pre-release, and that is because the Aether Revolt pre-release has cards from Kaladesh, which makes it technically makes it a bigger set, quote unquote, because you get for Aether Revolt packs and 2 Kalajas packs. So for new players, I mean, it's still good. It's still manageable. But if you really wanted to get into reading all the cards first and doing that stuff, Kalajas would have been better, or the next one after either one.
Well,
But
since
if you want
people
to get to
can't
get,
travel through time, I'm just
yeah,
encouraging the ones that
no,
are.
they can travel to. I mean, travel. They can wait till the next expansion, but
But
it's up to
it
you if
this
you
is a
want to.
really fun set. Actually, it's just a bunch of artifacts. Kaladesh, for those that are not familiar, is like a plane of artificers,
Yeah,
and there's
in
like
India apparently.
Indian like, and they have an atmosphere that's like called the Aether, which is like a powered energy atmosphere that they draw energy from, and it's inhabited by these things. It's an awesome world from a fantasy or even from a sci-fi perspective, and it's
The
steampunkish as all get out.
Yeah,
And
it's steampunk meets India meets um Agrabah.
Agrabah,
I don't know.
it's steampunk where you replace steam with Aether. This like strange, powerful
But
energy.
what's the card? Larger than, was it larger? The one with the parade?
Yeah, larger than life.
Was it the one with the parade?
Yeah.
With it reminded me of the Prince Ali thing. Like,
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. I
see,
get what you mean because
Agrabah.
there's like a.
Go, because there are a lot of there's supposed to be a lot of festivities in Kaladesh because of the Inventors Fair.
Yeah, it's sort of
So
celebration.
it just kept reminding me of the Aladdin. It's not an entrance, but
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
the first time that Prince Ali came into Agrabah.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Sure, you can call it Agrabah
So
if
if
you
you like
want.
Aladdin,
Yeah, if
play
you like that, it's a
Kaladesh.
good set to get into. But going back to the topic of like coming back to Magic, PR events are great for getting back to Magic because everybody's sort of like on an even footing, and I want to address
Oh,
the.
you know what I did for the BFZ battle? I
Mhm.
forgot if it was battle. For a pre-release anyway. Because we had enough guys from the old group to get 8 players. So we had like 8 players, 9 maybe, wanting to get back into Magic, wanted to try getting back into Magic. And what I did was I talked with one of the store owners if they could organize one of the PR pods so that everyone would just play against each other. And they did it. So if you have a group wanting to get back into standard or type 2, or just get back into current Magic, that's something you could try. And if you have 8 people, I'm sure any shop owner would give you the same courtesy.
I think it might also be a good idea to try that this holiday season because I believe there's very very few major tournaments, and so store owners are really keen on getting any way to get more people
No,
playing
but
in the
try
stores.
it with what though? Like a draft?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
No, but PR is more fun.
Of course, of
So
course.
because like the normal PR thing is like you get a pack per win, so you get to play against your own peeps and get packs by knocking them in the head. You know.
Yeah. Well, it, in short, it's still fun to play Magic, and there are now more ways to actually enjoy that. But as I was saying before, I wanted to address this. Magic still is competitive. It is a competition, and so there are it can be a little bit cutthroat, and
Did you
so
know that FNM though and pre-release are not competitive REL rules enforcement level for those who are not familiar?
yeah, they aren't. But in order for you to practice, and you were one of the main proponents for this for me, you wanted to enforce that to sort of get into the habit. So, if you wanted to get back into competitive Magic, it's a good rule of thumb to sort of enforce that on yourself. No takebacks, live with the decision that you make, and also a lot of different things like don't keep cards in the same box that you have your
Yeah, cause,
sealed
cause
deck.
just a tip for everyone. What we do in the red zone is basically we play all our games as if it were like professional REL.
And that's based on our own preference. Doesn't mean it's better or it's
No,
worse.
it's based on my preference actually. Because some
Yeah.
people, but yeah, but because for me it's the best way to learn magic. It's sort of negative reinforcement because you get punished for being stupid. But yeah,
Well, dumbness should be punished because that's so that you could be better. You don't reward bad behavior.
don't talk about the American presidential race. But
Oh my gosh.
I did not go there.
You did!
No.
Anyway, glossing over that really, really quickly, Magic the Gathering is a really fun game, but it can get a little bit cutthroat. But Friday Night Magic and similar events are good ways for you to enjoy Magic without having to engage in something a little bit more intense. But if you enjoy the intensity, you can still enforce it on yourself. And then when you go to an actual tournament, you'll have that butterflies in the stomach, arms weak, knees are heavy, mom spaghetti moment that, oh, you're going to lose yourself in the magic in the moment. And you'll own it. You'll never let it go.
Just a heads up for everyone who's planning to go to, like if you're planning to go to FNM for the first time in like 15 years or 10 years since you last played. I'm not sure how FNM is in other places, but here close to us, it's particularly competitive. I mean, more than what Wizards, I think, wanted it to be, because most of the shops are giving more prizes. Entrance is more steep for one thing, which is okay. I mean, it's like $1 more, something like that. Anyway, but yeah, but because of the competitive pricing and stuff like that, it's not anymore your friendly Friday night go to destination, but more of an actual tournament.
Well, exactly. But the important thing here is to make sure that you be straightforward, with who you're playing with, and generally, what with this my experience, the people that you're playing with do understand that you're returning to the game, that you're trying to get back into it, and they generally would provide you help. If you are in a situation where that isn't the case and it's negative, look for a better place. That's the bottom line. Don't force yourself to play.
It may be further from where you are.
Yeah, yeah. Don't
But
force yourself to play in a place where you'll just have a negative experience. Because at the end of the day, what we're doing is supposed to be fun, and fun can take a lot of different meanings. Some intense competition is fun. Sometimes casual games are fun, and wherever you have your
losing
fun,
is rarely fun though.
losing is rarely fun. Exactly, but
That's
casual
why
play doesn't
that's why
necessarily
you
mean you're
watch the
losing.
Red Zone, you watch our videos, you learn from them.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so that was my experience in getting back into Magic, which I hope helps other people in their own journey back into the habit.
How was it financially for you though? I mean, like, how did it feel compared to when you were playing before? I know it's like a lot more expensive now, but
I was a student.
yeah, but you have more money now. So I mean,
I was a student before.
I think it's not just that we have
Well,
more money now,
but here's the thing.
I think
Compared
it's
to
also
buying an iPhone,
yeah. I was gonna get to that because it's more expensive now, but I think people are used to spending more money now. Even for like high school students have iPhones and stuff, and when we were in high school, we had like I didn't even have a beeper, but
those for rich people and doctors.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So it's a hobby, and paying money does allow you to play more of your hobby. So if you're gonna buy a console, buy a nice TV, get a new car, all of those things cost money. Same thing with Magic. It's just that Magic is not as expensive as a TV or
Oh,
a car.
games are surprisingly worth the same though. Did you notice that?
Yeah, yeah.
The consoles are worth twice more.
Yeah, the consoles are,
But the
but the
games are the
games are
same, right?
are very similar. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. But so yeah, um, so as I said, this is the experience. This is my experience from coming back to Magic, and so hopefully other people will will take and try get back into this because it's fun.
How do you think they should? Would they get? I mean, like, if you have to make a step-by-step guide on how they should get back into it,
Well, it's its own.
just go to FNM and find some guys
No,
there.
no, no, not that, not like that. But
Oh,
the
if
best thing to do is
let's
if
do
you
it.
have.
Let's do it both ways. How would you do it if you had money, and would you do it if you don't?
Well, it's
You
not
do
just
you
about
do if you
money.
don't have money.
I'm not talking about just money.
No, no, but we are talking about it now. If you don't have money and want to get back into the game, no, not like not have money, but if you don't want to spend a lot and want to see,
Well, you're a pro. Okay, if you don't want to spend a lot, then there's a lot of different things that you can do. My main thing is not really from an expense standpoint, from an experience standpoint. And so my point of view is that if you want to get back into Magic, it's good if you're not alone. So if you and a bunch of friends who are also Magic players in the past that want to get back in, it's better if all of you go back in at the same time. Or if you
yeah.
have somebody that's still in the Magic scene, that's a good way for you to sort of ease yourself in because you have a guide into it.
How many months were we back in when you went back in?
I've been hanging out with you guys a few months, but
No, no, no. How many months were we back into Magic when you?
I started
Year?
in Kaladesh.
So year and a half, ish.
Kaladesh?
Yeah, since we went back to Magic, yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, because we went back almost Dragon. Fater Forge.
Oh, when you guys came back.
Yeah, when we came
Okay,
back to
okay.
Magic. Well, no, actually, when I came back to Magic. And some other guy, which we will not mention.
Okay. Anyway,
Feel
so
the hate.
so so my so as I said, okay. So the main thing is, for me, I think it's best to have like a guide to help you, or to have friends so that there's more of you to go to these events. It's Magic is a communal thing, I believe, and the the people that you play with actually makes the game more rewarding. Um, yeah, individuals win these tournaments, but at the end of the day, it's teams that help them get to that point. I believe, and
Oh, we're going like almighty ducks ish on this
yeah,
thing.
yeah, quack, 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 yeah, but
Okay.
yeah, but that's my experience in Magic. So getting back into Magic. So hope that it helps people in their own journeys in getting back into Magic.
So advice for people getting back in the game.
Have fun.
Oh,
That's
I
it.
have something for them.
Oh, sure, sure. Yeah,
If
add.
if you want to get back into the Magic and don't have the money, you should try MTGO. It costs less and well, for me it's fun. Some people don't like it because you don't get to play with actual cards, and you're alone in your room, crying while you're playing. No. But no, no, but it's a ton cheaper and blah 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 whatever. You can play it on your own time. You can play it while watching TV. If you don't have that support group that Elvin has been talking about, then you might want to do that first. That way, when you actually go out in the world and be free, play Magic, then you actually know a thing or two. But if you actually plan on getting back into Magic and have the funds to, or not have the funds and want to, you know, just spend what you don't have on it, then I suggest you go ahead and like net deck a popular deck. Not because not because you can't make one on your own, but because it just makes things
Yeah,
easier
I
for
think
you.
I think maybe one of these days we'll have a topic about net decking. I think still there, I think
For
there's
those who don't
still
know, net decking, what is it?
net decking is when you get a deck from the net. I think we should. I think this is a good topic that we can discuss in
Isn't
the
it
future.
decking the net?
No, no, it's not. No,
Netting the thing.
no, it's not. But I think it's a good topic that we can discuss in the future. But for now, that's gonna be our show.
Oh wait, but you
Yeah.
said competitive Magic, so isn't that
No, that's
anyway? Yeah, well,
yeah,
in
yeah.
Magic any game in general, yeah.
Yeah. Any competition channel. But yeah, so thank you so much for staying with us for the first episode of the Red Zone podcast.
And remember to put in the comments if you want to ask questions, want to give us topics you want us to discuss.
or give feedback. Actually going to set aside this last portion after the main topic in the future to read your comments and answer questions that you might have.
We actually replied to every single comment.
That's something that
No.
we will try to. We try our best to.
Actually, I have.
You
so
have,
far.
yeah.
But-
But I'll try to. We'll try to address all any comments that you have. But yeah, so that's been our show. Thank you so much for listening. Once again, this is Elvin,
And JR.
and this has been the Red Zone Podcast. Post show. Yeah, so I was a bit late going to the tourney earlier, but how did you do?
Not so good. I mean, we were testing brews, so we're still talking about Magic, by the way.
Yeah. Well, we went. Yeah, there was a tourney earlier.
Oh,
at
was the
Habbit.
traffic? I mean, did you see the traffic? I mean, it took me...
I was in the traffic. I was in the traffic so much that I wasn't able to reach the tournament.
And I'm mentioning it because the Habbit is actually like a mile away, less than a mile away from here.
Yeah, from your place.
Yeah, and it took me like 30 minutes off. So I mean,
I think it's the rain.
That was traffic.
Yeah, the rain did really help.
Yeah.
Yeah, but but I still got there, found out that there wasn't any tourney anymore. But
No,
fortunately,
there was a tourney, but it
well, not for
already
me.
started.
Not for me. There wasn't a tourney for me. It was like an empty room for me. Fortunately, I was able to enjoy my time there because you guys don't know this, but the Habbit actually has pretty good menu food. They have these like spam. They have these spam
talking
fries.
about good menus and spam in the same. I mean, for us it's good, but I mean, I like spam. That's a long debate for some people.
Whatever, but it's good. And they also have chicken croquettes, which is like chicken stuffed with cheese, deep fried. Come on, there's nothing more, delicious than that, right?
Deep frying it in butter.
Yeah, well, whatever. Yeah, so fortunately, I was able to enjoy my time there, even though I wasn't able to play in the tourney. And sometimes, when you're at a place, at a game shop, it's nice that you can do that. Sometimes if you go to one of these bigger stores where you can't eat, where they don't have a menu, you're sort of left at, okay, there's no tourney, I gotta go. I just wasted my time. But here, it's like, it's nice that you can, have a little bite to eat. Something to nibble.
Do we actually play in a shop where you can't eat, where there's no food?
Well, one of the bigger shops, I guess.
Really?
You have to get food from the outside, and it's
Oh yeah. No. I always bring a, and this is also advice for you, grinders out there. All Magic players need to bring their own refreshments,
well,
like
in general,
like
if
cold
you're
ones. Because you save a lot of money that way.
yes, also it's a good idea if you're going to be sitting down and doing something for a long period of time. Like if you're going to be playing out soccer, or you're going to be playing football, or you're going to go out skating. Well, making sure you have something to drink up, keep yourself hydrated, of course, is really important. Same thing for Magic, You're sitting down, you're not going to be moving around, so you're gonna make sure that you don't have to get up and start drinking sugary sodas and whatnot.
So
Anyway, when you have a place where you can eat, then play cards, that's the best. That's for me.
Sort of like at home.
Yeah, sort of like home, except there's a bill at the end, so Still, it's worth it sometimes.
Yeah, well, at home you pay for groceries, so
Not all.
but yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Anyway,
your point.
yeah. So more places should have good food, not just the instant noodles thing. Actual nice good food, finger food that you can finger. Thank you, and that's the podcast. Have a good day.